Hi guys, my name is Dan and this is another vlog from BragDeal. Today we're going to be covering why you should consider updating your current website. Alright, so you're watching this video today because you want to improve your website. Whether it's for your business or for personal reasons, you want to take it to the next step. You have users that come on it every day and you know they're probably seeing the same thing every single day and they're not really getting much benefit from it as far as the functionality that's currently on it. And a couple of things that you're probably considering is how do you make the website more modern? How do you make it more alive, more functional, and more interactive with the users that go on it? So a couple of things that I would recommend right off the bat. If your website is not 100% width, you probably have an older type website. Now that doesn't mean that if you have maybe 60% of the width, it's not a good looking website. It just means that, in my personal opinion, it doesn't make sense. Why not use 100% of the screens? We're all visual nowadays, so usually the top you want to have a nice, great visual image of your business and what you offer. Now that's just the first reason you want to be modern. The second reason is you want to show your clients or members that come back to the website that you are evolving, you are becoming better. Everyone likes progress, everyone likes to see it change, and if it's always the same thing and it's always the same boring thing, then chances are they're not going to come back. Or maybe if they do, they're just, they're not going to stay there too long because they already know everything. One of the major things that I like to focus on is what's called the click to action. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, click to action is essentially when someone lands on your website, what are you targeting them to do? If they just land on your page and there's not any area they can focus on, they're just going to be lost. They might scroll through back and forth and then they're out of the site. If they land on the page and there's a clear logo at the top, you have your menu, you have your slider, and then you have a little button, that's the click to action here, then you're directing them to a certain action on the site, whether it's collecting emails or getting them to look at the products or whatever the case is, but you made them do a certain action. That's just for improving the website as far as the funneling the user to do an action, but now you also want to make sure you cover things like checking for errors, make sure that the website is built freshly in the way that you wanted it. So you want to make sure that you refer to our other video about how to hire the right designer when upgrading your site. In this case, I want to kind of walk through the structure of what you should consider when you're upgrading the site. And let me get the handy board over here and a couple markers. So we're gonna go over a basic instruction of how to create a site that has a certain structure to it that's modern and then directed to get a scroll through to reduce the bounce rate. And we're gonna talk about what a bounce rate is in a second. So at the top, usually you have your nice logo right here, then you have your navigation bar, and then follows that is a nice big photo of the business. Now this photo is the first thing that we will see when we land on the page, right? You would agree that most likely this whole area right here is the first visible area to the user. Now as you scroll through, more and more things will come up, of course, but this landing area is where you're gonna capture their attention within the first 3 to 5 seconds. So your slogan most likely will be here and a click to action button right here. I'm gonna take a different pen this time. So the click to action button will be right here, and this is what they're going to be clicking on, and this button will actually direct them to a specific area, whether it's your products, whether it's collecting their email, whatever the purpose of the site is for getting what you wanted out of it. Of course, you want to consider that if you're in a lead generation business, then this click to action should actually be a form where you collect emails. So they type in their email, they click submit, and from that you get an email added onto your leads list, and now you have potential of doing email marketing every week. If it's a website to have products sold on it, then you want to have a click to action that drags them down to the products area. Okay, and in this case it will follow through with more click to action, which will be add to cart, incentives for sales, and so on. Now let's go back to what we see first in the top. This area right here, this is where your slogan, like we talked about, you want to make sure you don't just say something generic, because now they're not going to be really interested in that. They're going to see it as a sales tactic, or they're going to see it as something they didn't really put thought into it. You want to show value to customers. So in this case, your slogan will be representing your company. If whatever you say at the very top here does not attract them to stay on the site, the last thing you want is lose them because of your slogan. And other thing is because the picture was bad quality. So you want to make sure you consider all those little details when putting the front page together. Now let's talk about what a bounce rate is. A bounce rate is essentially when somebody comes to your website, how long do they stay on it before they leave the site? And the faster they leave it, the more it means that your information is not interesting for them, but more so it tells Google that your website is not helpful for them, and therefore your bounce rate will be high. The longer they stay on your site, the more it tells Google that your information is helpful, and therefore the bounce rate will be low. The lower the bounce rate, the more ranking will improve on SEO. The way you want to structure the entire site after the whole top area is generally you want to have the nice header at the top. You want to go through the big slider. Okay, then you want to go through the About Us, or maybe the services you offer. Maybe you want to have the click to action button on the slider right here, so click to action button. And then of course after the About Us, if you sell products, you want to have your products. If you want to have appointments booked, then you have a big form for the appointments, and so on. This is just a rough guide for how you want to structure the site. Of course it will vary depending on what business you're in. And that's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was a helpful one for structuring your site. If you want more information as to what kind of things you can improve on, one of them will be definitely an SEO portion of the site, fixing errors, make sure the bounce rate is low, and so on. The list goes on as to how to improve the website. Those are just quick tips as to what you can do right now when you are considering improving the site that you currently have. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. We will post weekly videos to help you out more and more every week. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.